Hello, it's 10 a.m. on Wednesday, October 12th here in Seoul. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Mark Broom. Let's start with the latest job figures, and they paint a pretty bleak picture. The protracted economic slowdown in Korea's manufacturing sector is weighing heavily on the job market, and the latest employment figures show it's younger Koreans that are having the most torrid time at the moment. Shin Se-min starts us off.
Times are proving tough as young Koreans are suffering from one of the worst job markets in years. Statistics Korea says the country only added 267,000 new jobs in September from a year ago, bringing the total number of people in work to 26.5 million. The margin of increase slumped back into the 200,000 range in September after propping up by 387,000 jobs in August. The overall unemployment rate stood at 3.6% in September, up 0.4 percentage points from the same month last year. Statistics Korea says the ongoing government-led corporate restructuring drive of the nation's ailing shipping and shipbuilding industries took a toll on the jobs market. Jobs in the manufacturing sector, that includes the cash-strapped shipping and shipbuilding industries, fell 76,000 on year in September. The youth unemployment rate fared especially poorly. It stood at 9.4% last month, the highest monthly figure tallied for September since 1999. Shin Se-min, ARIRANG News.
Turning now to the international response to North Korea's recent provocations, the UN Security Council sanctions on Pyongyang for its September 9th nuclear test are expected to be even tougher than those imposed under the current resolution adopted back in March. When asked about China's stance on these measures, US Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs Daniel Russel told reporters that it's very important to make progress. He added that all members of the Security Council, including China, agree on that. The US official also emphasized that unilateral measures are important to counter North Korea's nuclear and missile threats. Over at the nation's top office, a summit between the leaders of South Korea and Costa Rica is about to get underway. President Park Geun-hye will sit down with Costa Rica's president, Luis Guillermo Solis, for talks and then hold an official luncheon. Celebrating 54 years of diplomatic ties, the two leaders will sign economic cooperation agreements and discuss ways to deepen coordination on the international stage, including countering North Korea's nuclear issue. The Central American country, has long been a supporter of denuclearizing North Korea. It was the first in the region to issue a statement condemning Pyongyang after its September 9th nuclear test. The Costa Rican leader's 5-day itinerary in South Korea also includes a visit to the nation's Innovation Center and the Incheon Free Economic Zone. Two of the world's biggest tech giants, Samsung Electronics and Apple, have squared off at the US Supreme Court over their long-running design patent dispute. Our Kim Mo-gyun has more.
The 8 justices heard arguments by lawyers for the world's 2 top smartphone manufacturers in Samsung's challenge to the $399 million it paid to Apple last year for infringing its patented designs. In 2012, a jury found that some Samsung smartphones infringed 3 patents on aspects of the iPhone's design, including its face and rounded bezel design and its icon arrangement. Samsung is challenging the amount it paid to Apple, which is the entire profit of the sales of its Galaxy S model. It says the amount should be much smaller since Apple's patents only cover a small part of the iPhone.
And what the statute says is that you're entitled to the profits on the article to which the design was applied. The design was not applied to the innards of a phone. The batteries, the processors, the electronic componentry that makes the smartphone smart.
The Korean tech giant's lawyers compared the situation to forfeiting all profits from the car because the cup holder infringes on a patent. On the other hand, Apple says the infringed patents were closer to the design of an entire car and that Samsung failed to show the patents were relevant to just parts of its devices. Apple's lawyers said that protection of innovative designs is critical to the U.S. economy.
11 times now, Samsung has been found guilty of intentionally and blatantly copying the iPhone. Every court at every level has agreed. We think it's wrong, and that poses chilling risks to the future of design and innovation.
Some of the justices expressed deep skepticism over how they could figure out which part of a product a design applies to when calculating damages for patent infringement. The Supreme Court is expected to issue a final ruling by the end of June. Kim Mok-yeon, ARIRANG News.
Now, with the final countdown on until the US presidential election, Republican candidate Donald Trump has targeted House Speaker Paul Ryan, calling him a very weak and ineffective leader. In one of his tweets, Trump nodded to his slip in the polls, saying it's hard to do well when Ryan and others who turned their back on him offer him zero support. Trump said that since the shackles are off, he can now fight for America in the way he wants to. Trump was responding to Ryan's announcement Monday that he will no longer defend his party's candidate after a more than decade-old video emerged of Trump making sexually aggressive comments. On the Democrat side, Hillary Clinton's campaign is feeling the heat over WikiLeaks' daily drip of leaked emails sent and received by campaign manager John Podesta. The emails show how the campaign pushes hard to spin mainstream media coverage in Clinton's favor and numerous other potentially damaging revelations. And that's all the news we have for now. We will be back at noon Korea time, so until then, goodbye.